Okay, getting up into the Sprinter. It's very easy to get into. You just can hold on to the steering wheel. There is no grab bar. There also isn't anything to grab onto really over here as well. So the steering wheel may be your best bet. It's easy to slide into. The seat goes pretty far back, I think. And then it slides forward pretty close. Now this is a nice feature. The wheel well is here to the left, but it's not protruding into the cab to the point where I feel like my leg is being pushed up. And it's also pretty narrow. So I believe you'll have adequate room to move your foot left and right for variety when you're on long drives, unlike the GMC Savannah. And then also it has on the side here the recline feature and the lumbar, this is the recline. This tilts your seat, so you can tilt it up and down. You can see that there's no storage under here. I did find, being 5'6", there's plenty of room through the windshield to see the sky and the road. So if you were to put a swivel in, if I were anyway, I think I wouldn't lose any valuable real estate for seeing the sky, which is good. All right, here it is. You can see how the extended Sprinter is fitting into a parking space. It fits in, there's some extension here. And it might be blocking that other car over there a little bit. So something to consider. Okay, I'm just going to point out how easy it is to use this dash area. You can see that immediately the chips fit right in there, as is an apple, and the food container, and then you have room for cups. This is it's just easy. You're not thinking about it at all. Now this is a bit mysterious. What is this about? Maybe someone can put in the comments section. What do you think these are for? Are these cup holders? It's a little far, I gotta say. If you gotta reach, this is as far as I can reach sitting down, so I'd have to lean forward like this, and it would be standing up in the middle of the view. Well, maybe not too high. Anyway, that's very interesting. It turns out that the side view mirrors have this button right in the middle, and watch what happens. Very cool. Look at that. So if you're going through a tight spot that you have to squeeze through, you can just press that middle button on the armrest and it will bring both of the side view mirrors in automatically and put them back out. Pretty cool. All right, so the emergency brake is here. It's to the right of the driver's seat, which means that if you're putting anything in the middle, you want your hand to be able to get down there as well. But it is a big space here between the seats. Nice big space, wow. It would be super easy to get in and out, with a swivel, or even without a swivel, quite frankly. Here we go, let's try it. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is fantastic. Okay, it's at an angle, which is annoying. But boy, the amount of space this Sprinter gives you to get in and out of your seat, and if that was open, go back. That's really cool. Rented this for moving. This is an extended one. This is the longest van I've ever driven. So I'm a little nervous, but so far so good. It just pulled out of the budget rental truck area. And first impressions, I always like to get that on these test drives for you. First impressions, the seat is comfortable. My left arm does feel a little crammed in by the hump on the left side of the seat. I don't know if that would get irritating over a longer drive, maybe. Otherwise, the seat is comfortable. I'm 5'6", and so for the length to my knees, it's good. I know everybody differs in how long our legs are and our torsos. And yeah, the seat is comfortable. My gosh, the mirror, the window on this it's like the Ford Transit. It's just, you can see everything, sky and road. Fantastic. All right, I've been driving this Sprinter by Freightliner for about 5 minutes, and already I can say that you might find that the side view mirrors, which are here, are small, and this is an extended version, so I think it would have benefited from mirrors that go out further, so you get just a better sense of what's behind you. There is a barrier here, so there's no rear view mirror, and there's a rear view mirror, but there's nothing to see. So it's comfortable. The shocks are good, so the bounciness, it isn't too bouncy, it isn't rigid, it's very good. The acceleration is responsive, it's not jerky though, and the brakes are the same, so far so good. Yeah, this Sprinter grips the road. I'm just going down a neighborhood and not having to accelerate much to go, but also not having to brake to stay slow. I don't know how to describe it. It's like you're gripping the road, but it's not dragging. It just keeps it at a really nice, even speed. Now I'm approaching that scary hill that I test drove for the GMC Savannah, and this vehicle, the Sprinter, I have to show you. So this Sprinter, I don't know what trim level this is, I'll find out for you. This Sprinter has a very interesting gear shift. You just tap it up and down or press in the tip to change it to park, and up for reverse, down for drive. It's not, you're not actually moving it, grr, 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 like that. You're just tapping. The thing is, it doesn't have a manual or a standard gear option. So I don't know how you engine brake in this. And so I'm going to go down this hill pressing on my brakes the whole time. And I'm nervous about that. But that's the only way to do an honest test drive. Luckily, it's empty right now, so it'll be a little less scary. And so let's see how it goes. All right, had to put you all in the cup holder because there's no holder for the camera in this van, obviously. Here we go, going down. This is called Union Hill in Brattleboro, Vermont. And this is a road you do not take in the snow, the ice, or maybe even heavy rains. Okay, and just seeing how it holds on its own in drive. I'm not pressing the brake. Okay, it's picking up speed pretty quick. Obviously, that's what it's going to do in drive. But it didn't race down instantly, so that was good. Actually, I gotta say, I'm not having to press hard on the brake at all to do this. This feels, oh my goodness, this feels much more secure than I expected. This is a thumbs up for downhill. Now, it's totally unloaded in the back. I gotta say, that's a consideration. But that's good. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's a positive review on going downhill. Now we'll check out the reverse. Sorry, my whole face is blown out with the light, but you got the drift. What a relief that was. Okay, so far so good. Look at that. So I tried to go into reverse, and it won't let me because it says neutral is permanently active because there is a risk of rolling away. So the car is detecting that there's a risk of rolling, so it won't let me go into reverse. That's fascinating. I'm not quite sure. I'll figure out how to resolve that. Not quite sure what changed. I just tapped it again and it took it out of there. I guess the risk went away for some reason. All right, let's see how reverse does. All right, this is the distance camera on the Sprinter. This is the Freightliner Sprinter. I don't know if the other Sprinter makers would do this differently, but this camera is black and white. There are no distance lines to tell you how close or far you are from something. I have no idea what this gray blob is here, right let's see if we can get my finger right there. Have no idea what that is. And just not helpful. I mean, it's helpful. It's better than nothing, 100%, but I really don't know how to use it. It's not immediately usable. We really have to practice with it a lot to see what it is. No, I'm just not happy with it. Doesn't give me confidence, even though I can see. Okay, so there's that. That is the rear view camera. Okay, just figured out how this bottom window, at least one of the ways that it's helpful, just in reversing or in driving forward, the ability to see where the bottom, not the bottom of the tires, but the bottom of the frame is. It helps in terms of knowing if there's an obstacle there that I might be driving over or bumping into, whereas the top window is giving more of what's higher up in the air. This window is giving more what's down on the ground. So that actually was very helpful just now. Well, it's a good thing this is a Freightliner, because we are loaded. As you can see, this Sprinter is loaded to the gills. This will be a great test drive with all this weight in here, albeit for a van build, you would never want your weight distributed in this way. So I'm a little nervous. I've never driven anything in this condition before, but this will be a good opportunity to see what it feels like. Now, you can see this is an extended Sprinter, which means there's even more stuff that can fit in there, and also there's just that, you know, driving all that length behind me. So we will see how it feels. All right, so it's fully loaded to the gills. It rocks a little bit left and right, but I think we're good. And I'm making some turns while going uphill in this neighborhood. And it feels good. It doesn't feel leany. Let's see how it does going up here. It's powerful. This is powerful. I'm not having to press hard on my brake to go up a hill, and this baby is loaded. So that's reassuring. So far so good. I'll check in when I've done a little bit of downhill. I just made a turn without even thinking about it, and I'm going up this hill, and I didn't even think about it. I just left my mind that all this weight was in the van. This is cool. This is really cool. Good. Very reassuring. Okay, going downhill. Just a slight hill, subtle hill. And with all this weight, there is no downshifting available here, and it's just sort of maintaining its speed. It's not accelerating rapidly down the hill, so that's reassuring. I did pretty good. Very light braking was needed. Here's another little hill coming up. Let's see how it does. Go. Yeah, it's cool how this Sprinter sort of maintains its speed. It doesn't suddenly accelerate when you're going down the hill. That's really nice. Yeah, good. It's been a long day of moving in the hot sun, and this AC feels really good in the Sprinter. It's not as cold as the GMC Savannah. It doesn't have that bite to it, as if you're getting splashed from, like, maybe even doused with a hose of really cold water. That can be so refreshing. But the Sprinter is pretty cold air conditioning. It's been easy to talk to each other in this Sprinter. We haven't had to even raise our voice, which is, I think, I don't think I raised my voice in the Ford Transit either, but maybe just a little. I wish I had made note of that. But in here, you can actually tell that you're not having to raise your voice, so it's memorable in that way. Let's see what it's like to get into the back of this Sprinter. It was pretty comfortable to get in. Felt like I had to kind of lift up like that. I'm 5'6". So the inside feels a lot like the Transit. It's 70 across in the widest part from here to here. It is 14 feet and 2 inches long. This is the long one. And it is, let me measure that, the height of this particular roof, and remember, we want to measure to the beams that go across, because even if you don't insulate, that's where your head is going to hit if you're a tall person, or you're going to need to duck like this as you're walking. So let's see what that height is. The height to the ribs at the top is 76. So that's 4 inches taller than 6 feet. All right, the back is long. You can see how you could do quite a build out here. You could do galley, you could do a platform bed across. Something to keep in mind is that with these vans, you can put boxes on the back of them as well. You don't have to get the van style. So there are options. So all in all, what do I think of the Sprinter? Well, this is the Sprinter 2500 Freightliner, and it gets a thumbs up for comfort when driving, as well as quiet, as well as handling on the corners, and keeping its traction downhill on the paved road with and without weight. Also, the way that the side view mirrors are divided, where the bottom and the top and the different types of views are, I found that more comfortable for my eyes than in the GMC Savannah. The air conditioner is just fine, and the seats are comfortable too. Another thumbs up is the amount of space between the seats in the front area, for swiveling around, for walking through, for squatting, for storing things, and being able to maintain distance from that pull-up emergency brake. So that's a thumbs up as well. So those are all the thumbs up. Now for the thumbs down. At least in this trim model, the lack of manual shifting. There's no way that I am aware of to downshift or upshift. So I don't think engine braking is possible. Now, if you know differently, please put that in the comments. And then also, this chair on the left side, it's pushing my arm a little bit forward. Now, for longer drives, I think that might become a little irritating or fatiguing. So that's something to keep in mind depending on your width. All in all, if the Sprinter is something you're considering, in this test drive, I haven't found anything that would make me want to warn you against it, that's for sure. There are just some considerations to make. It is a strong contender. If I had the funds, this would be a tie with the Ford Transit, and I would have to test drive them side by side. So let me know what you think. Do you drive a Sprinter? Do you drive a short wheelbase, a long wheelbase? Do you have any tips to offer to those who are considering Sprinters? Put them in the comments. And you can also check out the other test drives in the playlist or the link that's going to show on the screen. Thanks so much for watching and contributing in the comments. It really does help all of us to get out there on the road more confidently. Remember, you can do it. Enjoy your journey.